but
So
it's
yours
not
is gone?
now.
Oh, okay.
It's not on there anymore.
I'll have to check because I loaned one out, so I don't know.
Yes.
But I've got one here I can check. That's
I
good.
mean, that's fine because I've still got this one. It's fine.
Right. But I was shocked that it would be on our other ones when they wouldn't give me
yeah, it's
the deep cycle.
yeah, no, but
I'm
the
still
deep
fighting with
cycle
them on
isn't. Yeah, the deep cycle isn't on there, but the
But
Digi Nuts was on
Right.
there, but now it's not.
It's not
But
there. Okay.
But it's on-
Alright.
it's on- Are we doing?
I
Are we
just okay.
doing
So
coherent?
first of all, I want to welcome
Oh.
welcome you
Yeah.
to our weekly Healy Health and Wholeness time.
Yes.
And this time also will like us before. Of course, I'm going to do a disclaimer, but I want us to start with coherence so that we can focus our attention or sending our love to still, I think today we still do Ukraine.
Yes,
We
definitely.
still do Ukraine, yes. So I get mine going.
Okay, cancel.
And Destiny can't join us today. I don't know if she managed to.
Yeah, she has to work today.
Yes.
She has
Is
to work
that
today.
Destiny?
Whoever joins. So and that's good.
Okay, but are we starting now or we're gonna all start together?
Yeah, I'm going.
I've got to go and get the coil. Sorry, I've got
you
to
have
go.
coil? Okay. And
My
mine
coil.
is-
I forgot my coil isn't on there. Excuse me.
Yeah, go get it. Mine's
It
downloading.
won't be long. I'll have to.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Yours is ready, Diane?
Yeah, I'm ready. When you are.
Okay.
I'm ready. There we go. It's on now. Yeah, it's on. I put it up to 100 because they say with the coil to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know a couple of times I forgot, to do do it, and it would start, it would be black. Then I'd start doing it, and then it would turn white like at 60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Should I stop here? And I thought, I don't know. I've always done 100, so
Yeah.
you never know,
Okay. Well, we are ready to go.
We are.
And are you ready? Are you almost ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes, we're ready.
And the other one, I've run it a couple of times, the coherent boost, but I haven't done it that many times. So,
Okay.
It's a coherent boost.
yeah, the free one they gave us.
There's another one.
Well, I've got another one.
Yeah.
On the coherence program, there's coherence boost, which was added.
For when you upgraded.
No, it was added during. I think it was during the COVID time. They gave us another
You
free
mean
program.
the bioenergetic boost?
Yeah, they gave us. I think that's what they gave us first. Was the bioenergetic boost.
Oh, they gave you that first. That's right.
They
Sorry,
gave that
the
first. Then
wrong way.
later, yes,
Then the
coherence
was free.
Yeah.
Yes,
coherence was
Sorry.
given to us later.
I got it round the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought I'm missing something. What did I didn't get something that somebody else got. Like,
No, I've got it round the wrong way.
Yeah, just did the title.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so that we at least do a disclaimer, then we can.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, make sure that we are
compliant.
Yes. Okay, so going here. Okay. Okay, this is a disclaimer. Healy is a microcurrent medical device that has been cleared by U.S. Food and Drug Administration only for the local relief of acute, chronic, and arthritis pain and muscle soreness due to overexertion. Healy also has non-medical applications that uses individualized microcurrent frequency to harmonize your bioenergetic field. Always use your Healy in accordance with its instruction for use. And we don't need all the other stuff. So yeah, so I was really listening, trying to find out what does a bioenergetic really mean? Does anybody know?
Oh, I'm sure I did hear about it being.
Yeah.
I've heard it so many times. I had it clear in my mind. Like that, I haven't got it clear now.
I think it's biologically and energetically working together.
The biological aspect, and
then the energy.
Bio, because bio, it does seem to be biology. I could just have a look. I'll just quickly Google it.
Okay. Is that what you got to Julie?
I'm just quickly Googling it, because biogenetic meaning.
Like, what did you get for when you hear the word bioenergetic? Bioenergetic.
Biogenetics is a field in biochemistry and cell biology that concerns energy flow through living systems. Well, I mean, if you think of Healy, it's all to do with frequency, vibration. So our bodies are. So I think it's the bioenergetic, because that's prefixed, isn't it, on quite a few programs, the bioenergetic.
Yeah. So it's basically like what I said is, but it's how, like we know how like all the systems work together, like, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, the circulation, it's amazing when you stop and think about how all these different systems work together in a certain pattern that God has designed, right? And so what it is amounting to is how is the energy moving through all these organs and muscles and ligaments and systems, how it is, blows my mind when I think about it.
Like that other word, which I didn't know before, the meridians, the meridians.
Okay, yeah, the meridians. So what do you understand with the meridian now? Jonathan just joined us. Hi, Jonathan.
Yeah, hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. Oh, he's muted.
Yes, I don't know if he's driving, but he's hope I can hear us. All right. So what do you hear when you hear the word meridian?
Aren't they're like, the functions of like the lungs and the the different organs, the kidneys, the lungs, the heart, the like they're the pathways to for our body to function. I don't know if that's some of the understanding I've got.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of programs.
Jonathan actually unmuted himself, but then hello, Jonathan.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
More grace.
Yeah, we're a bit few in number today, but that is okay. Some people called it and make it, but it's okay. Well, this again is a platform we get to ask questions and get, just it's really a wonderful place to get to actually know what we have, and and help us be able to know what to use and when, and some things like that, and just answer some of the questions that we may have. And today we have a special, a great honor to Julie. She's been teaching us one particular program called Power of Three. And sometimes we go through and deal with different program, but today she's actually going to instruct us in the Power of Three. And so so we'll be able to go actually back to review some of the things. It's actually, Julie, is that the part 3?
It's part 3 because it's in 3 sections. There's
It's 3 sections. So this is
there's 3
the part
programs,
3
and in
of
each
that program.
a set of 3. In
Yes.
fact, one of the ladies I heard today said there's something about the number 3, 6, and 9. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure there is in.
Okay.
We can look at numbers, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, John.
And okay, Dr. Ode actually just came to say hello to Jonathan before. And Jonathan is here now. He came to say hello, but he was like, "Is Jonathan there?"
Yes, he's there.
Yeah. So anyway, sometimes there's a few people, but it still gives us opportunity to be able to ask questions. Do you have any question that we want to maybe address before we go into her to those teaching? Jonathan?
No, not readily. No.
Okay. So how are you able to run your program and you have no problem? And so there's no well, you don't have any question, but I just want to make sure that whatever question that you have, that you feel free either to write it or to ask as we're here. Okay. All right.
Really, I just turn it on and put the wristbands on and connect it. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but
it does. I can attest to that because I didn't know what I was doing at first either.
Nor did I.
And when I used to run it, it used to be almost all black. I didn't know what that meant, but now I do. But even then, it helped me. So it's like you can't go wrong. It's going to do its thing.
What do you mean all black?
When you run a program, there's a little icon that comes up, right?
Uh-huh.
And then when you start running it, it should be a little white line with a little red dot going around that circle.
Yeah, this is what I'm running. Well,
yeah.
So all of us, 3 of us were running a program called Coherence.
And so if it turns black, then either like when I first started, I probably wasn't very hydrated or not hydrated enough. I don't know, but I used to have to wet things and put it on my wristbands. I used to have to I bought some connective oil to put under them because I was getting a lot of black. And now I hardly ever get black. But it takes time to kind of figure it out, but just
that's why we have a team, that they encourage you to be a part of a team, because that's why you ask what is going on. So they were able to know, there's 3 different ways that, they, when you're running your system, that you can see, the phone is actually the screen that shows you everything that's going on in the Healy self, in terms of its movement. And, so whenever you see, I don't know if you can see now, if I can share my phone, I will, but our internet is a bit low today, but sometimes it goes black and it goes back to white. But when it's totally all going through all black, that's what Diana was talking about, is that it just either there is not enough fluid in your body, because it's a conductor. Water is a conductor. You need to have water, to be able to conduct the frequency. So if it's all, you're looking at your phone and it's all, the line is going and it's all black, it just means that you're not hydrated enough. Okay. And one thing you can do is that you just stop and take a glass or 2 of water. Or another thing, like Dan has said, is that you can tap your hand and in water and put it, I don't know if you can see, and just put it right under, rub it under your hand, so that it has that connectivity, so that, it will be able to. So when it's only black, it just means it's struggling. The frequency wants to go. And remember, it's just a frequency that goes into the cell. It's struggling to get into the cell. It's struggling to get access. It just doesn't. So but when it turns white and it's gone, it just means that, hey, that's a free, the highway is riding straight through, and that is okay. The connection is okay. So another thing that it could be, when it's turning black, it could be because the second one, it could be because either the cable is bad, or it could be. What's the third one? I think there was a third one. The key, huh?
The frequency, the amount of the little dot, you know, like right now we're at 100% because we're using the coil, but I don't know what percent he's using.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes if the percentage is very low, like they have the minimum, they have like the base is 15. And sometimes if it stays on that 15, it just stays, you know, it doesn't go, yeah. So you actually have to, where you say the plus, you actually have to touch it to make it so that it comes up. And then so that you know, yeah, and you find your comfortable zone in terms of using the electrode. And then again, so aside from that, there is 3 ways to run Healy. So one, of course, is what we're doing now, and I like to do this usually when we're sitting down, or you know, when I'm driving, or even when I'm church. And if I have a long sleeve on, it just goes inside and stuff inside my pocket. So it's, you know, I can run it while I'm at church, when I'm anywhere really, if I have a long sleeve on. Okay, but if not, it will be when I'm sitting down, or when I'm just kind of in a zone where, you know, I'm not having to do a lot of movement that will trap, because this can break. I mean, I already have broken one under the bed too, so just want to make sure that Jonathan is here. Yeah, Jonathan. So we're talking with Jonathan. So that's the first one. Just is a major one to be able to use it is that with the Jonathan, if somebody's waving to you.
More grace.
Oh, she got you in this stuff, huh?
Yeah.
You're about to get healed, man.
I'll take it.
Yeah. We've been using it for a while too as well. Yeah. So anyway, so then there's another one which I don't think you have used, which is your resonance. I think you bought that, which is the one that is called. So we have what we call pink dot app, and then another one we call it blue dot app. You know, so the blue dot one is where you are doing the analysis, and when you do analysis, you don't need this. You don't need this. When you're doing that, you don't need it. When you're doing the aura, you don't need the cables, because that's what we were talking about. You know, it goes into your bioenergetic field, just the information field. You know, so you just run it based on the number of minutes that you want to. Some people, they say you stay on 1 point something or 2 point something. Some people say do 5 every day. You know, like different, you know, you can be on 5. So it's just as your body gets, you know, as your body, you know, do what your body can handle, you know, because so the one good thing with the frequency is that this, especially what we have, is that there's no side effects. It's not like, oh, it's gonna make me sick, because it will not. Okay, so you do what it is that your body is comfortable about. Okay, so I don't know if I can show. And then another one is a coil, which is right now out of stock. And today, I think they say that there is a possibility that it may be coming soon. But there are people who have ordered that since December. And yeah, so there's a bit back order. And it's just like when Healy came. Healy came to America May of 2020, sorry, during just like the shutdown. And so even the Healy said, people trying to buy Healy, like gazillion people, you know, so many people wanted to buy the Healy, so they were not prepared for the quantity, you know, that how much people wanted to buy it. So they went, you know, so they're manufacturing, they were running, and of course, you know, it being manufactured in Germany, Berlin. So then with the movement of transportation, everything was like, so people were complaining that they didn't get their, and then sometimes it took people almost almost 6 weeks for them to be able to get that. Anyway, so that's in a nutshell. I want to give Julie really space to be able to teach us what she's been learning with this program, and then we will, if there's still time, we'll get more time to be able to ask questions on her or whatever. Okay, so okay, over to you.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I did not close that. Jonathan, did I answer your question, or is there anything else?
No, yes, you answered it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, now over to you, Julie.
Thank you. If I could just have that picture with the 3 categories, that will just help, please.
Okay. Sure. So I'm gonna share the screen. Let me share screen.
It just gives you. I'm going to do a big short recap and then go on to the last category.
Okay.
So this is a relatively new program, Jonathan, called The Power of 3, and it's designed in such a way that there's 3 categories, which is bioenergetic rebalance, universal frequencies, and digital Ayurveda, and I'll explain. And in each program, there's 3 subsections. So in the first one is conflict balance, defense support, friendly flora. Then the universal frequencies is classical physical, classical energetic, Zappa protocol. Don't know about you, when I first heard these, I thought, what on earth is this? And then the digital Ayurveda, which is Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. Yeah. Now, when Marcus first shared with us about it, this was he was saying that it's to help us come into coherence, the coherence with how we're made up, our body, our mind, our spirit, or spirit, soul, body, and particularly in this time that we've all experienced globally. There's been a lot of conflict, whether it's through vaccines, whether it's through noise and psychological pressure. So all those things in that category, and also, for instance, in our gut, where we get the different organisms. So it's designed to be able to help get that balance back. And it's just absolutely amazing, because with Healy, like we were saying a little bit earlier, and when Mama was explaining the different types that you can run the frequencies, because there's a quantum sensors in the in the Healy.
Yeah.
And that's the most wonderful thing. It can read what your biofield, your information field, and be able to deliver those microcurrents, especially when you're running the Pink app. So you might think, well, I wouldn't know which one of these I would need. But when I ran this program, because it's a 9-week program, I'll explain a bit better. I actually started to write down the frequencies, and I felt so moved by the care. I know it's a machine, but it's been created by, I believe, by the Lord, using men and women to create it. The care of those frequencies that we can have in our body. That's the touch of just pressing on the button so easily. So let me go back to how we're supposed to run this. If you've got it on, I think you can either have it on subscription, or there was this special offer. I believe it's also on the resonance. Is that right, Mama?
Yes, it is.
For anybody that's got resonance, it will be on there.
Yeah, we all have it. Yes.
Yes. So, so the idea is that on a month, for the first 3 weeks, the first category, bioenergetic rebalance, you would, for example, on a Monday do conflict balance. You would run that program, do its full course on the Pink app. Then on the Wednesday you do defense support, and then on the Friday you do friendly flora, and that would be it for the week. And then you do that, repeat that for the first 3 weeks, and then you go on to the second subject, the second category, which is universal frequencies, and you would do the same thing, classical on a Monday, classical, physical, classical, energetic on a Wednesday, and Sapper protocol on a Friday. Now, I'll explain about the universal frequencies. I had no idea at all what it meant, but it's absolutely wonderful. It's in the last century, we've had the pioneers, who've led the way with frequency. We had Dr. Royal Reich, who, it was proven that people benefited from all sorts of diseases that, when they ran these frequencies. So these are some of these frequencies. So when I actually looked up a frequency that was running, it changes quite quickly, but I wrote lots down. And when I checked, it was actually a Rife frequency that was being given to me. So these are the things that will help us come back into balance. It can be, on a physical level, it can be on an energetic level. Now, the Zappa protocol, again, I had no idea, but it's, I've got it written down somewhere where it was, it's a parasitic, it will help parasites. I think it's quite normal that everybody has parasites, but as I heard one lady say, it's getting the balance so that parasites aren't out of balance. So it's apparently it's got a 7.20. I don't know whether it does a pattern. It must be. It's called protocol for a reason. So it must run through a certain frequency to give you that. So that's that second section, and then we are going on to the third. So the third being the digital Ayurveda. So I'll give you a bit of an introduction to that. So Ayurveda is a natural system of medicine developed in India more than 5,000 years ago. It's derived from the word Aya, which means life, and Veda, which means knowledge. So Ayurveda is knowledge of life or secrets of life.
Can I ask? Okay, so sorry. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, it's just a little much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that right? Yeah. So isn't that wonderful? And I was actually thinking, because I'll come off script from time to time. I mean, it's all right to, for us to sort of think it through a bit. But 5,000 years ago, people could have been nearer to where people were connecting much more to the earth around them, the creation, and what their bodies did. I mean, I don't know, but it could be that, they had much more of an understanding of how the bodies work. So it is a knowledge of life or secrets of life. It's based on the fact that disease is due to an imbalance or stress in a person's consciousness. Ayurveda encourages certain lifestyles and interventions and natural therapies to regain a balance between the spirit, mind, and body. And I think that's why it's so amazing how this set of programs is going to help address our spirit, our body, our mind. And, we're triune beings. And I think that going way back, there are other religions as well that look on us as a triune being. So it encourages, certain lifestyles. It often starts with internal purification. That's the way that Ayurveda goes. That makes sense, actually, because in a minute I'm going to tell you the different characteristics of these body types. And I kept thinking, well, why are they saying all up to do with vegetable and that? It just felt like there was a lot of food, vegetables and herbal, but that would make sense. So there was remedies, massage, therapy, yoga, meditation. But of course, you bring us to where we are now, and I'll give you right at the end. I'll give you a list of all the things that we've covered in Healy just since the year I've been on. Different things that aid us with it. It's a tool to aid us with Healy, which I think is quite amazing. So the whole point is it's to come into our optimal balance. Now there's 5 elements in Ayurveda. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. And it's space, air, fire, water, earth. And it's just quite amazing how they bring this into our body types. So, I mean, for instance, Peter is, Vata is air and space, Kappa is earth and water, and Peter is between fire and water. And the Healy program will help bring you into balance. Now, I've got to go back to...
What was the kappa?
Pardon?
What was the kappa?
Kappa.
Kappa is earth and water.
Earth and water. Thank you.
I mean, I'm hoping, it all comes together because I've been listening to different people. Now, and it helped me, but really, we all know when people say, or we've said ourselves, constitution, it's about our constitution. So we could understand that. Our body type, what's our constitution? Like some people say to me, I can eat anything, or they'll speak about their husband. They've got an iron cast digestive system. They can eat anything. Or some people might say, I never put on weight, or some people will say, I have to eat more savory, or some people, just got different eating styles, different sleep requirements. Some people don't sweat much, some, perspire, some people perspire a lot. And this is what I'll cover in a minute. So, just bear with me. Right. Let's see. Yeah, also, so basically there's 3 body types. I mean, I know we're uniquely made, wonderfully made and created. We're all unique. But in these, in this Ayurveda, the Kapha, Pitta and Vata, they're called doshas. So that's, that's the type. So they're basically 3 bioenergies, and we all have a dominant one. So say I was Kappa, you would have that as a dominant, but you could be a little bit of Pitta and you could have been a little bit of Kappa. Well, I'm probably getting it around the wrong way. And it's the substances that hold us as a connection to ourselves. Pitta is strong energy. So it's burning from ourselves, a fire in which we have for our digestion. Vata is movement, not just physically, especially the mental, which is moving a lot. I'm sure I wrote it down more. They are our constitution. Now, I just thought about a scripture, which I've always loved this scripture, actually. When it says in James that Elijah was like us, he was a man. He had the same sort of passions. He had the same thing, and yet he prayed, and he could stop the rain or bring the rain. But I like to think that was his constitution, when you think about it.
What element?
Yes, and that always helps me. And also because scripture goes so deep, when the Lord says, when David said he knew my frame, well, you could think, well, that's just the bare bones of a baby growing, but I just think that goes much deeper. He knows how we're made. He knows how he's crafted us, how he's wired us, how our body type works, and I think that's so wonderful how he's provided the Healy as a tool. So that's just so precious. So I think I might have gone a bit distracted here.
Well, you're doing wonderful.
Right. Right. So I think I'm starting properly now. So with Vata is air and space. A person who has a lot of Vata has a lot of wind-like qualities. So I was listening to, it's a bit like when the leaves fall off the tree. They may have a dry skin. I suppose that's what they meant. The leaves go dry, don't they, and fall off in autumn. They may have dry skin, brittle nails, cold hands and feet. They have a varied appetite, very hungry sometimes, and other times not. They lack the regularity and routine that other doshas have. So when I said doshas, I mean Vata, Pitta. They're eccentric types. They're the kind like artists, creative, that might be up in the night working on a project, with a creative idea. They're very active in their mind and on to the next thing. They're great visionaries. The problem is, though, they set huge goals for themselves, but often don't set steps and paths to get there. So they'll start a project, but when it's hard, they will they'll say, oh, well, maybe this project wasn't the right thing. And then they become angry with themselves.
Mm.
So the whole point of me saying what these are, is the whole point is that the Healy will bring you into balance. And there is actually, I mean, it only takes about 5 minutes. There are tests you can do on YouTube. I mean, it's quite good fun to do. You could just, they'll go through all the questions. You'd have to do it on a bit of paper, and you count up all the A, B, and C's, and you'll find out roughly, you know, what your
constitution. Okay.
yes, and it's quite good fun actually.
Julie, will you put that link on?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, and Telegram
Yeah, I
group.
will.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, there's so much out there, really. Right. So Vata type needs to have regularity and set routines themselves. So having this knowledge will help us then to get into balance. So for instance, for them, it's having 3 square meals a day, because they're the type that will miss meals because they want to get on with their projects. They don't like sitting down. They think it's wasting time, and they should, but actually, because of the way the Ayurveda works, when I said to you about the therapies and the meditative things they do, and the kind of food they eat, it does seem to be more of the vegetables at the right, and the spices and the herbs, but they should make the biggest meal of the day lunchtime. The digestive fire is the strongest around 1 p.m. So that's when they're better able to digest it. Vata needs warm and moist food for balance, because Vata types generally like raw foods and salad, but because they get cold and dry skin, they need that warmth. So they were talking about like lentil soups and warm up the food and everything. To lower Vata, increase the Pitta. So if the person's high in Vata, they have to increase that, which is the regularity in the digestive system, and that is fire for Pitta. Oh yes, I've just put myself reminded about the questionnaire, so I'll send you that link. The wonder of it is, if there's any imbalance, the Healy will find it. I mean, even if we didn't know our type, our body type, the Healy will be able to do that. That's very, very wonderful. So I put a note here that when I ran the Power of 3, 90 hertz came up, that one of the frequencies. And when I checked, 90 hertz, yeah. I don't really understand fully. I'm sure Lenora would if she was on here. It said binaural, binaural beats and sine tone. So when you go up on YouTube, it's got that. You remember like the generator tone that Destiny told us about? I think it's just different names for the frequencies, but it's adjusting and rebalancing. That's what I have. Then I had 4.9 hertz, which flagged up, and it referred to induced relaxation and deeper sleep. So thinking about that dosha, where the person wants to be up in the night, and I wasn't sleeping too well at night. I think that's just really wonderful how that frequency can come and correct that balance. It's enabling also, for instance, there's a lot of young girls. I mean, that's a generalization, but girls are often eating the raw food to lose weight, but yet they're experiencing bloating and their hair falling out and dry skin, which is really sad. So that would be, to actually balance them. So we're on to Pitta, which is fire and water, so it's heat. The Pitta qualities, it rules the metabolism, heat, digestive system, and it's all about transformation. It brings about the mind, body, soul connection. You can look for the signals and symptoms when you have an imbalance. When you know your doshas, you know your natural state. When you know the imbalances, you know how to bring into balance. And that's obviously where Healy is a huge help. It helps to connect to your source. The qualities come from fire and water. Now, I don't really understand very much. I mean, I'm reading it out, but I don't, fully understand yet. I'll have to get more understanding. You know what I mean? Even though I've run run it. I'm sure more understanding will come. The physical structure of the Pitta body is moderate athletic structure, muscular, angular facial features, moderate size, eyes are deep set, and a bit medium sized to bridge nose. I think that's quite amazing. And I think they went on to say about the fingers can be sometimes kind of stubby, you know. A very strong digestive system. So it's interesting because it's fire and water.
Yeah.
And our bodies are nearly all water, aren't they? So it has a strong digestive system, can handle a lot more food and butter intake, unlike the Cappadocia. I mean, we all know people, don't we? You think, how are they able to do it? They eat, you know, butter and lot of rich foods. When Pitta is out of balance, they're prone to indigestion and reflux. The Pitta doshas eliminate waste 2 to 3 times a day. Soft and smooth, a quick digestion system, frequent and efficient. When in balance, Pitta is focused, goal orientated, and a leader. Easy and quick to make decisions, warm to friends. They have that heat inside. I think they were also mentioning like when they fall in love as well, you know, they've got that warmth. But when they're out of balance, they can become judgmental, critical, strong, heated, emotional, abrasive, snappy in discussions, indecisions, and aggressive towards people. Take note and lower the Pitta dosha. So it's all about either raising it or lowering it. That's where the Healy will assist. Even if we don't know our doshas, we can come back into balance with the rest of the flow. When I ran Pitta on the Healy, I had 20 hertz. I mean, I had loads of them. I just because you can't always find out every frequency, but this one, I noticed it was a Rife frequency. So that's Dr. Royal Rife. But Jonathan may not know that. I'm not sure. For various disorders like sinus, diabetes, control, sugar. So I thought that was interesting. Not that I got diabetes, but it just brings it back into balance. I had 79.7 hertz that ran for a while. That was binaural beats, a gamma frequency, brainwave entrainment. So I thought that was interesting. And now, right, so I'm now on the Kappa. I've done Vata here. So I'm on the last one. I don't think I've done it in the order. Maybe
Yes, okay.
This one is earth and water. Gains weight easily, a sign you may be high in Kappa, or that you were born naturally with more Kappa. This is interesting. If you can't reach your wrist, so if you put your fingers around your wrist with your thumb and your first forefinger, if you can just reach it, you're probably going to be more Pitta. If you overlap, your Vata. But if you reach it with, enough, then it's likely your Kappa. Now, I don't know if that's real, but I've no reason to believe that it's not. Mine's just, I suppose, reaches it.
Mine doesn't reach. I can't reach.
Yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's just, if it just reaches your Pitta, if you overlap your Vata. Kappas can keep up with a lot of physical activity. They tend to be big boned. They have earth energy, so they can give and they retain. When babies are born, they are naturally Kappa because of all the building of their bodies for their life, which I thought was interesting because I work with children, so I wouldn't have known that then. Children get colds and snuffles, obviously. We know children do. That's a sign of Kappa excess. They get mucus and congestion and sinus, but they have a lot of Kappa because of all the kind of bodybuilding they've got to do. Another one is inflammation, water retention and weight fluctuation, swollen feet. Another sign, they crave sweets, breads, pasta. They give energy, so they need a lot of calories. So I thought that was an interesting description of this dosha because they give energy. They and what did I say? They were earth and water. So that's why Kappas gain weight, because they share calories. I don't fully understand that comment, but anyway, they're giving out. So energy is stored physically. So probably hence the weight.
Yeah.
Kappa bodies naturally want to hold on to more fat and retain energy. Emotional stuff can cause people to gain weight and take on Kappa imbalances. Also, they get sleepy and tired. So it's the diet and lifestyle taking in the Kappa characteristics. What can they do about it? I didn't fully understand this, but earth is the strongest and most lasting element, you know, because I mentioned about their earth and energy. So it's something I'd like to get more understanding on this. You know, this goes quite deep, really. Kappas keep cool and can get on with most people easily, yet they might be resistant to change and stuck in their habit. They need exercise in the morning. We were right for time. They need exercise in the morning also because the earth is also starting the day and we take on the rhythm of the sun. So I thought that was quite a good point. The morning is the best time to exercise. When Kappa exercises, it will put you more on the Pitta, fire, and the Vata, air. So it brings it back into balance. It will change your entire physiology for the rest of the day. So she was sort of saying like 10 minutes. I mean, not everybody can do that, but like squats and jumping jacks, but actually bringing your body into a place of sweat. She's saying that's because sweat is the emulsification of fat, which I thought was very good. So stimulate your body and appetite by food. So I think that's how the Ayurveda do that through the food, you know, spicy. Now I'm not that keen on spicy, but they're saying things like ginger, cayenne pepper, those things, and it gets the energy, it gets the fat and the calories burning off when you stimulate it with those sort of foods. Nearly finished, actually. There are many Ayurveda spices out there. Some you can put in a stir fry. Also bitter foods, Brussels sprouts, spinach, kale, Swiss chard. Throw them in a soup or smoothie. Make a green smoothie with a bit of fruit. I made a smoothie the other day, actually. I had some fruit. I thought I'll use it up, kiwi and different things.
Yeah.
So broccoli, cauliflower, cruciferous and fibrous vegetables that require energy to digest. So I thought that was also very good. So stay away from sweets, carbs and dairy. Well, I would find that a bit hard myself. But anyway. So when I ran Kappa, it came up with 0.4 hertz, which when I looked it up, it was a deep state of consciousness. Then 4.5 hertz was healing and cleansing body and mind. So again, it just really moves me, you know, doing it for 9 weeks. And I'm sure Diana would say the same, well, you know, have a similar thing, because you're concentrating over that 9 weeks. It's like a lot more engagement, I found, with the intention, you know, our intention and affirmation. So so the Ayurveda doshas are being used over thousands of years. And then I just wanted to end with this, which I thought was amazing. So for the year that I've been joining, and I'm sure I might miss some, we have covered things like affirmation, intention, meditation, breathing, tapping. There was that man who taught us about the energy, you know, the, or what's the word? It's another word for it. The energy points.
Yes.
Not acupuncture. The other one.
Yeah, you can use it. You can say acupuncture. Yes.
Yeah, it could be acupuncture.
Yeah.
Well, I do that a lot, you know. I'll say scriptures and I really feel the energy as I do it. Grounding, where you can walk when you can, walking barefoot outside on the ground, getting grounded, or grounding mats, which I used to use when I'm doing the Healy. I've forgotten. It's because my feet get cold in the winter.
Okay.
So we've done that. Music of the plants, being out in nature, you know, looking at the trees, the birds. We've gone through things like essential oils. We've gone through energizing our water with copper plates and things. We've looked at stones, crystals, fluorite, shungite. We had that lady, I can't remember her name, who spoke about nutrition. We've learned to record
Oh, yeah.
frequencies on our Healy and into our food and supplements. We've understood about the Solfeggio notes, the different frequencies that are healing and can reset us back, and the different ones that we play, like whole tones. I can't remember all the different names, but so that's just a few of what we've covered, and that's a lot, isn't it?
Mhm.
So I just wanted to bring that in with what we're doing, because it's very holistic, isn't it? You're bringing everything in, and also for the fact that some people haven't got the Power of 3 on the pink app, but you won't miss out. For anybody who's going to hear this afterwards, you won't miss out. It'd be lovely if you had it, but you won't miss out, because you can get them from the other frequencies.
From the resonance.
You can get them from resonance, and you can, with intentionality and using all the tools, you can bring ourselves back to balance as God meant us to. So I hope that's helpful. Anyway.
Oh, that's amazing. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow.
I have one quick question. You mentioned when you were doing one of them that it helped with diabetes, and
oh yes,
when was it?
Just bear with me a minute.
Was it? Was it the
yes.
pizza? I was writing so fast I missed it.
Yes, I know. I did set.
Oh, Journaly, yeah. I guess that's Journaly was on. That's her phone was showing. It's her phone.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, how beautiful.
Bear with me, Diana.
No, that's okay. You can give it to me later.
It's because I've got all these different notes, and I'm out of the.
That's okay. I don't want to take up a lot of time. Just
no, it's not, I don't mind at all, but it's just because
Well, okay, so while Julie is searching for that, Julie, that was amazing. Thank you so very much for just walking us through from that. And that's really, that's just one program in Healy.
Yes, that's right.
One program in Healy and all the stuff it does. So, I know, it's, just even take, it's like not over like 200 and 120 something program that is there.
Yeah.
And then just follow you in one program and must know what it is, and even just doing the gold frequency. If we are to just work on that gold frequency and then really understand what it has to offer us, and like we're looking on the pure program, we're looking on the being, and what does that have to if we study those things, because that's what the people who would put that, they studied this and then they got this understanding, and then for the frequency to be here. So that is so amazing. I want to thank you so much for just leading us into a better understanding, or greater understanding, when we actually run that. And for some of us who I did miss the first I think I did miss the first one, because this one I was in Nigeria. Is that we have the YouTube is on the YouTube. I don't know if we have it numbered. Yes, I don't know. But so but it is actually there. So one of the things that we're going to see who can actually do that for us, for our team, who has the skill, who will be able to go through and say, okay, this is what we talked about, and just kind of put it so that it's easy for people when they're coming. Because I know more people are coming, but we have done so much, since we've been teaching, step by step, so and a lot of questions has been answered. Would be good. I know when people come new, and when people ask, there's new insight that comes out. So it will not diminish that, but at least the people can have a place where they can actually go and then see some of the things that was already done, and be able to take care of, just tap into that. So
I found that little bit. It was in the Peter one, because I was saying when I ran the Peter program, I had 20 hertz, and as I ran it, I noticed it was a right frequency. Was it that one for various disorders? Oh no, maybe not. Was it that one for sinuses, diabetes control?
Yep, diabetes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, because obviously it does it personally, each,
Right.
each microcurrent is through the quantum sensor. So,
yeah.
but the good thing is you'll know it'll run the right one for you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Johnny, do you have any comments? So you always bring in Rich, if you can type it if you want, then I'll read it out, or we'll read it out. It's so good.
I was just gonna hear what the question about the diabetes and the maybe help there, but
Okay, so Julie, do you want to? She said you wanted to hear more about that.
Yes.
She wanted to hear a little bit about that discussion when you're talking about was
Yeah.
it? I think it's Veta.
I mean,
you were talking about.
I think it was just sort of an extra note I put for myself.
Oh, okay.
Only because Johnny, sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right.
Yeah.
I was
free.
tracking all the frequencies because they all have a number. When you run the pink dot, it will show you the hertz. So I looked it up on YouTube and I just put in 20 hertz frequency. What does that mean? And it just came up as a Rife frequency. And I think there must be Rife frequencies that cover more than obviously one ailment that category. Do you see what I mean? Because they have hundreds of frequencies. There is a list for every frequency for every disease. But it just mentioned various disorders, sinus, diabetes control.
Okay.
The other thing I could suggest as well is, do you remember when we did the tone generator? Were you on that particular Zoom where you can go to, it's called the tone generator. And if you know the number, you can put it in and play that frequency. Or the other thing you can do there's Rife frequencies on YouTube. It's just called Rife frequencies.
And you can RRHY. How do you spell Rife?
RIFE, I think it is.
RIFE.
Yes.
Rife, yeah.
Okay.
Rife, yes.
Thank you.
And it's kind of got I'll send you a link as well if you like later. It's got like a sort of orangey circle. Yes, that's right, Johnny. Yeah, Rife frequency. Yeah. And it can be more specific.
Know if I could help connect with the diabetes for Diane, but it
I see. Yes. I mean, I will try, do a little bit more research myself.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure we will, won't we, all together or individually. As we come together, things will unfold because we'll run programs, like Diana said, if you run, was it Chill or whatever it was you shared way back, Diana, these are amazing things because each testimony is helping somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So it might have been the eating style of the pita that contributed to the benefit diabetes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
that makes sense.
Yes,
it does make sense.
Yes.
But
yes.
I want to ask if okay. Well, Jonathan, do you have any questions as it relates to this, or as any other question that we can address, or
I
at the
don't have any
moment?
questions.
Okay. All right. So was anything insightful? Again, this is us who has been, for a while, and we're taking different program and just kind of studying it and then learning and just how it is, but also allows us to be able to get a good handle on. And last time when we did, Diane knows some of us, there's a certain program we're running, and we see the result of that particular program. Diane has shared about there's a program called Chill, chilling, and she talked about it. So when I had, it's like I was feeling cold when before I went to Nigeria. I think I shared it already before, but again, I share it again. But when I was getting ready to go to bury our father in December, I woke up one day and I was just feeling my, like itchy. My throat was itchy. I'm like, oh God, hell no, it's not gonna. No, I can't have that because I don't know what they're gonna say. You have this in COVID. So anyway, I just remembered and I started running that program, and within the 2 days, everything cleared. My no more itching. So we learned that, and then the specific program and what she did. About talking about a different time frame, which also we're going to go in further. Like there's a certain time frame where a particular body organ is in its element, and it's good if you have if you know to be able to run a particular program that is really can help boost it up. So those are some of the things that we're also doing. So. Yeah, so I really appreciate, and I love the fact because every human being has all those elements and all those 5 elements. We all have the water, we're all made of it. But when she talked about the constitution that people the major, the one that or you call it a weaker link or the strength, the major strength of the person. It can be the weaker link or the strength of that person.
Yeah.
So and that's really what manifests, was it who called Reuben, unstable as water. So he has more water element. Reuben has more water element, so and some of us now even want to really be able to find out a particular thing that your body, that your makeup structure is more bent to, even though it has all of them. Every one of us has water. Every one of us has a fire. We have all of that. So that is really, really good. So I want to acknowledge you for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we don't have any more questions, I do have 2:15 Zooms. I want to regroup myself and be able to begin another one. But this has really been amazing. Thank you very much. So now when you're running, it's something to get on. This is in all you're getting. Get understanding. And all you're getting, get understanding.
I certainly want to understand more.
Yes. And Jonathan, there is another app. It's like swirling like that, and it's called Healy Advisor. Is it Advisor? And then that's where you can, right now as you're starting, as you're learning, just you can actually type. Let's say your body feels a certain way. You can just type what you sense or whatever. You type it there, and it brings a cloud. It brings a cloud a list of what program you need to run until, of course, you master. If you will master going to do the resonance, I want to sit with you and make sure that that's what we do. We sit down, we just kind of learn it. So how you able to do that analysis, unless you, of course, you know it. But I think it would be good to sit down and then you do an analysis on yourself and be able to say, okay, because when you do analysis on yourself, it shows you 5 program area or 5 area where your body could be, your liver could be, it could be, whatever. Your skin is the biggest organ we have. So sometimes we don't even pay much attention to it, but it will show you, oh, yes, skin needs something, maybe skin elast, whatever. So that's search engine. There's a search engine that you can say, or somebody call you and say, oh, I have a headache or whatever, you can just type it. Or I have a swollen I have a swollen this, and you can now type that. Even though according to FDA, we can't say, we can talk about disease, but that particular, because it's a medical cloud, is now able to tell you what it is that you can run. Yes. All right.
Yes.
So,
Mama, I won't be with you next week. Unfortunately, I'm away out of town. As
we'll
you
miss
say.
you.
We'll miss you.
I'm going to visit my cousin and his wife. I haven't seen them for several years.
Oh,
and I'm going to a lovely town, a lovely city called York.
York?
So, York.
Okay.
So it's a what they call a cathedral city. You know, well, all cities have to have a cathedral to be called a city. They have to have a cathedral, but it's a famous York Minster. It's quite a famous city. So and it's nice by the river. So
Beautiful.
so I'm only going Monday to Tuesday to Thursday.
Okay,
But, yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing and actually stop the listen so we can